Hi everybody, I hope you are all doing well. It's been a couple of weeks since you've seen me, and mainly because of work. So the last time you saw me was the week that I was off, for my birthday and everything, and the day after I did the last videos. I had the day off, so the Monday, and then the Tuesday through to the Friday was just normal working. And of course, I was playing catch up on everything that I had missed. I had loads of stuff that I needed to get done, and it was, a lot going on. I kept on being distracted. Of an evening, I was, tired, all that jazz. And then this week, I've spent 4 days in Bristol. 2 days were training for work, and then 2 days was a conference with work. So Monday to Thursday, I was in Bristol, and then Friday I was playing catch up on everything that I'd missed because of those 4 days. So it kind of felt like these 2 weeks I'm constantly being like catching up on stuff and had lots going on. But yeah, it's all back to normal now, let's put it that way. But yeah, those 4 days in Bristol were good. I had a good time. Got to see some sites and such, and try out some restaurants which I didn't get to when I was in Bristol during my week off. So yeah, and we've had a general election as well, so all loads of stuff going on. And now it's really weird because that first week of the 2 weeks since you've seen me, we had some quite high temperatures. We got up to like 28, 29 degrees for a few days, and it was like, oh my gosh. Now it's cloudy, it's wet, it's windy, and I think we're tops of about 20, and it's going to rain every single day for a week. So it's like, oh, this is weird for July, but okay, let's go with it. So yeah, we've entered July with the new government and wet weather and cloudiness and all that jazz. So that's basically what's been going on with me for the past couple of weeks. But what I've also been doing is reading Our House by Louise Candlish, which I am here to review. Now, a little history with my knowledge of this story and why I bought this book. So in case you don't know, last year I watched Line of Duty for the first time. How was it the first time? I don't know, but I put it off and put it off and put it off. Greatly regret that now because it's such a good series, but I was really glad that I'd sort of waited so long so I could watch all 6 series together, but there we go. And I really liked this guy right here in it. Martin Compston, if you don't know who that is. I thought I really liked his acting, and I remembered, oh my god, I remember him in Monica the Glen back in the day. So I started watching that, and then I just fell down this bit of a rabbit hole of looking through various things that he'd been in. And he's a good actor. I like him, and if you follow him on social media, he's just a really, really lovely, genuine guy. I just like him. And one of the dramas that I came across in this a hunt for various things that he'd been in to look at range of work that he'd done was Our House. Just so you know, it's available for free on the ITVX app and such. So if you want to go watch the drama, you can there. That's here in the UK. For other countries, I don't know, but there we go. That's it. If you want to watch it, is there. I will include the trailer to it in the description box below. So I watched the drama, and I enjoyed it. I thought it was interesting. But I did have little kind of irks to do with the drama. But I thought, okay, if I read the book, I think it's that thing of I'll understand more, because the drama can only do so much, but I want to feel more about in depth with this story. So I wanted to get the book. I got the book, and now I've read it. The book, obviously, the only one that was available. Annoyingly, I ordered the book as the non-drama tie-in cover, and the drama tie-in cover is what I got. So if you want to hunt for the drama, this is the actual cover for the drama as well. So yeah. I have now read the book. This is my first encounter with Louise's work. So yeah, I kind of went into this, although I already knew what was going to happen, I kept an open mind, because obviously drama is drama. This is different. And, you know, one of the other dramas that I watched with Martin Compston was The Ice Cream Girls, also by ITV, and discovered, reading the book not that long ago, that the book and the drama are like night and day. So this is why I was like, okay, keep an open mind that the book might be quite different. And to be honest, they're not that different. So I better tell you what the book is about, actually. Sorry, I've just realised. So we have Fee and Bram. They are married. They live in London on this place called Trinity Avenue. They have a comfortable life. Married, 2 kids. And one day, Fee comes to the house and finds that there is a couple moving in. And she's like, what the fuck? She goes into the house and finds the house has been stripped bare. There is nothing in there whatsoever. Even down to like light bulbs, everything gone. Her husband is gone. Her 2 children are gone. And the people who are moving in are saying, you know, we settled on the house today, and have the documents to prove with her signature saying that the house is sold and being handed over to this new couple. But the problem is that Fee never sold the house. She has no idea what's going on. She's just completely clueless and has no idea where her husband and children are. And it's all about unraveling what happened. Now, there's sort of 3 different ways of this story being written in the course of this book. So first of all, we've got Fee's story from Fee's point of view, which is the audio of a podcast. And each time that we have a section of this podcast being written out, we get comments from people, listeners, passing judgment on that particular section and such, and we get to see their development of understanding what's going on as the book goes through. So that's Fee's point of view. We then have Bram's point of view, which is written via a Word document. Obviously, the Fee's podcast is after the fact, and so is Bram's, where he is writing his point of view to explain what happened. And then we have written, just as general book, third person as it were, of the events where Fee turns up at the house and discovers that this couple is moving in. So, and it flips back and forth between the 3 each chapter. So you've got a lot of flipping throughout. So that I was surprised by. I thought, okay, I thought it was just going to be a standard, just like the drama, that we sort of do have some flipping back and forth, but I thought it'd be written in the exact same tense and person throughout. But no, it wasn't. So interesting. Because of the constant flipping back and forth, once you get used to it, it's all right. It was just, I found that kind of jarring, but I did appreciate that we had it, the events where when say like Fee is talking about a section, we have straight after Bram's perspective of the exact same section, and then we spend a bit of time with Fee at the house and everything, trying to understand what is going on. So we had this even though we've got the flipping back and forth, it is very distinctly structured throughout the whole of the book. So once you get used to it, it's fine. I did find though that because of that, it made me detach from them. And I had the exact same thing with the drama. And this is what I was hoping that I would find differently in the book. And what I mean by a detachment is that I like it when I get to know and understand a character where I feel like, yes, I understand why you're doing X, Y, Z. I feel what you feel. I am deep in this. And I don't have that. It's almost, I've described this before, where I distinctly know that I am, although be it in my mind, I'm watching a story play out, and there is like a pane of glass between me and the story. And I want to break the glass. I want to understand a character more. I want to feel these certain feelings, and I can't because of the way in which it's been done Like, I'm watching Fee freak out and I'm like, okay, right. I'm not feeling, oh my God, girl, I totally understand where you're coming from. You see the difference? So it didn't have that weight. It didn't have that depth. And because of that, I think it didn't have the intensity that I wanted it to have. So granted, I'm not saying that there's no intensity in it at all. There is, especially at the very last 100 odd pages. You get the tension, you really do. But given that we are flipping back and forth and we're talking about some really deep marriage issues and such, I'd expect to have that weight and that kind of understanding, and so feel the tension between characters, and it just wasn't there. So I kind of have to give a little kind of spoiler, but this is only a mini spoiler, so don't worry, this isn't going to be something where I reveal everything. So, but I need to give an example. So the example is that Bram has some speeding tickets, okay? Fee doesn't know about it, and she stumbles across the tickets, and it causes tension. Now, we only learn about the speeding tickets and the discovery and the discussion and the fighting around it about, I don't know, 100 and let's say 20 pages in, okay? But you have that thing that, because of the different perspectives all being after the fact of, for that example of finding the speeding tickets and everything, you'd expect there to be that tension about it in the previous chapters, in those previous 120 pages, but there isn't. And that's the problem. That's the problem. If you're going to have a thing that jumps back and forth, especially after the fact sections throughout the whole course of the book, you need to have that feeling of, whoa, there's something here. What's the underlying grumbling thing? What is that? I need to feel it, and I didn't feel it. It's just this popped up, and it's like, okay. It was a little confusing in that sense, and because that's what caused the detachment. That's what caused me to go up against the glass and go, I want to break through, give me something, and it just didn't give me that. Now, I'm not saying it's a bad book at all. It's not a bad book. It's not badly written. It just felt like this doesn't feel consistent. And it's only, like I said, when you get near the final 100 odd pages that you really start to feel that tension, because all of the segments, from the outside, from these different perspectives and everything, are all coming to this one final sequence. Now, there is also I will say the one thing that I wish Louise hadn't done. At the very, very beginning of Bram's telling of his point of view after the fact, he says something right at the beginning of that section. I'm not going to say what it is, but I will say that he basically reveals what he's going to do once he finishes writing his story. So basically what's going to happen to him at the end of the story. He's told you it in the very, very, very beginning of his first bit of telling his story. I wish to God that Louise hadn't done that, because one, you're already spoiled the ending, and two, what Bram does, it becomes, it's like a redemption, if that's the best word to use. It's the way in which the balance of his character and his understanding and his getting his oh, what's the word? I'm trying to find a word and I can't think what it is. His processing and acknowledging the fact that he understands the weight of everything that's happened and how he's potentially fucked over the life of Fee and their two boys forever. It's his understanding. And so what he does is a way of balancing his character and going, okay, but because you reveal that at the very beginning, it doesn't feel redemptive to me. It feels weird, because if that bit about Bran revealing what I'm going to do after this was the last sentence of his last section, that would have made the ending of his sections just powerful. And the drama, just so you're aware, does that thing of sticking it at the end, and it is just so well done. I'm like, oh yes, because you go, oh, whoa, wow, what, whoa, I didn't see that coming. But if you told the ending right at the beginning, what's the point? You don't, it just doesn't make sense. It doesn't make any sense to me. So that, I'm a bit annoyed on. So it is well paced. The characters aren't bad at all. I just felt detached from them. Louise, she focuses more on, because the way that it's written, as I said, it's perspectives after the fact, and then we have this, separate following Fee on the day that she discovers the house sale and everything. It means that you don't get like atmospheric writing or an understanding of the flow of time or that kind of thing. You're just told, yeah, this happened, then this happened, then this happened. Oh, we've got Fee discovering, then this happened, then this happened. Oh, and then we're back with Fee. You're just constantly flipping, and I'm like, how long were you married for? How long has this been? I didn't get a sense of timeline. I didn't get a sense of structuring. I didn't get a sense of the house itself. If you watch the drama, the house feels like it's its own character. It's got this really unique decoration and structure, and then to see it just ripped bare of everything, all the memories, happy and sad and such, and just see it destroyed, it's quite gutting. It's really tough. But I wanted that same kind of thing of what happens behind closed doors and the things that happened in different rooms and such. I didn't get that in reading this book. It's just the house is just a house. It doesn't have that powerful blow to it. And that was really kind of disappointing. The emphasis is more on the different perspectives of characters than what the symbol of the house means. And so, yeah, and especially since it's called Our House, the house is kind of really important. But it's not in this. It's got a detachment even from the characters, it felt to me. So it just felt a little bit off. I'm not saying I prefer the drama than the book, because the book did help explain some things that the drama didn't. But I would go back to the drama before I would go back to this book. And I don't know if that's just simply because of the way it's written or what, but there's just something where I was kind of glad when I finished reading it, because it's like, finally, that it took me 2 weeks to get through. So that's not a great thing. But then, as I said, because I had a very busy 2 weeks, and I was getting distracted by other things, and I was tired from all the work and catching up and everything, and traveling and all that lot. And maybe that was why it took 2 weeks. But I sent a message to my sister and our friend Sarah, hi Sarah, to say, finally, like capital letters, finally finished Our House, when I finished it yesterday afternoon. And I felt like, oh, thank God that's over. So, but it's not a badly written book. This is the thing. It's just, maybe it's just, I was sick of the detachment. I was sick of just some elements of it. It's just, yeah. But I will say that the techniques that Louise used, I thought were very, very good. So, for example, the whole frictions in the marriage, and I'm not going to spoil here, but I'm just going to sort of explain, but not spoil, is because an event that happens in the garden. If you read this or seen the drama, you know. And we don't know one of the people in that situation. We know a neighbour's involved, but we don't know who. Because Fee won't reveal it, Bran won't reveal it. But we know it's someone. And nearer the end of the book, we find out who the neighbour is. Now, that was a really interesting technique to do. In a drama, you can't do that, because when we find out what happened, we see the person. You can't just have it. So, you know, it's been shot so we only see the back of their head or something, where we have no way of identifying them. We're going to see who they are right away. So you automatically have that information there, and the drama kind of played on it with scenes where Fee would see that neighbour, and they would, you know, have looks or whatever with each other, and so yeah, you had that friction there. So they kind of utilise that in the drama to their benefit, to, you know, get that tension and that intensity, like I said, that I wish was there in the book, you know, earlier on in the book. They used it, and that, I think that's what makes the drama stronger, in the sense of that tension and the intensity of the book overall. I mean, it's 400 and some pages, isn't it? 435 pages. So, and only like the last 100 or so pages is where the tension actually, you know, goes up and becomes a real thing that you can feel. So that's a lot of pages to go through before you get that. Whereas the drama has got it pretty much straight away. I would say, yeah, the drama up to the point where the event in the garden happens, which I think is probably about 15 minutes out of the 4-hour drama. That 15 minutes of feeling is what the 300 odd pages of this book felt for me, where it's just, okay, life, whatever, you know. It didn't live up to maybe the hype that I had in my head that this could potentially be. But I did go in open-minded, because this was an author that I'd never read before. And given the structure and the points of view and everything, the way that it's written, I think Louise did a great job. I just wish there was more depth to it, and it had more of that tension from the start, and then it would have been so much stronger. So I'm not going to say it's a bad book. I'm just going to say that it didn't quite work for me for those particular things. So yeah, with the actual drama, it's well cast, it's well put together. It's 4 episodes, as I mentioned, and it tells a story well. One thing it does that I have to say, oh, okay, yeah, I see what you did there, is that it gives Fee a very clear ending. Because with the fact, as I said, with Bran, because we're told right at the beginning of his section, at the very beginning of this book, what he's planning to do after he's finished writing, we know his ending. We know what's going to happen to him. But with Fee, it's left open. We have absolutely no idea. So the writers of the drama went, we need to give her an ending. And the ending that they chose, oh my God, they picked a doozy of an ending. I can totally understand seeing that play out, given what happens in this book. But yeah, I, at the same time, I'm thinking, but do I want that for feed? And everything. But I totally get the option that they picked. And so apart from that, they haven't really played with the drama. It's not like the Ice Cream Girls, where they basically used the general outline and then threw the book away and rewrote their own thing. They actually stuck to the book, the things that happen, etc. So for that, it's well adapted. I did, as I said, the extra tag-on ending for Fee. I totally understand why they did that, and I totally respect them for doing that. It's well put together. As I said, the house is its own character. It's well shot. I love the atmosphere, and I love the fact that it darkens as the series goes on. It's light and sunny and airy at first, and then it gets darker and darker and darker as the tension heightens and the story really goes on. So I think it's actually a really decent drama, and that's why, because it has that darkness and the depth and the tension, it totally understood what it was doing from the beginning. I would go back to the drama before I went back to the book. So I'm thumbs up for the drama compared to the book, but I totally recognise that the book has its own positives and such, and for the way it's structured and done, it's well done. It just didn't quite hit the mark for me. So there we go. They're my thoughts on Our House by Louise Candlish. Ask my usual questions. Would I read this again? Now, this is one of these books, kind of like, what am I thinking? I suppose kind of like The Couple Next Door or The Girl on the Train, where I would pick it up, like if I needed something that I knew I could read easily, if I was like going on holiday, whatever, and stuff. The Couple Next Door, I didn't get along with whatsoever, as you know, if you've watched this channel, and I do like Girl on the Train. So that's an example of two books where I had very different views about, but I'm talking about the ease of the reading and everything, that it's easy to read. I could pick it up, I could, really use it, but I would only pick it up if I didn't have anything else to read. So if I needed some to read and it was the only thing available, yeah, I'd read it again. But right now, I'm not that fussed about reading it again. Would I recommend this to anyone? I think because I enjoyed the story. I said I would watch the drama again. I think it's an interesting story to tell. And it's one of those things where actually, if you think about it, and things that we've seen in the news and such, this potentially could happen. So, or potentially has happened and we're not aware of it. So I think it is that thing that perhaps it's something, these kind of things that people should know about. So and I would, as I said, that Louise has written a good book and she's not a bad writer. So yeah, for the story, for the way it's written and such, then yeah, I would recommend it. Would I read any more of Louise's works? Well, I definitely give another book of hers a go. I always say that it's not fair to just judge an author on one of their books, because it could be that you just happen to choose one of their books that you just don't get along with, or it's not the best one out of their whole bibliography, and so authors should be given a second chance. So I would definitely pick up another one of Louise's works. I've not explored her other works, so I don't know how many books she has. Funnily, I was in Tesco yesterday doing a food shop, and her new book was on offer in paperback. So her most recent book in paperback. So yeah, that made me smile. I was like, oh, I'm reading one of her books right now. So yeah, I give Louise another go, but I don't know how well I get on with it. But we should see. So yeah. So those are my thoughts on Our House by Louise Candlish. Have you read this book? I'd love to know what you think. Leave me a comment in the comments box below. Give me a thumbs up, thumbs down. Tally to you, I don't decide. And I will be back to my thoughts on my next read, which is The Round Tower by Catherine Cookson. So I will see you again when I finish reading that one. All right, everyone. Bye.